Hello, and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to another live Manchester United news, transfer news, and general update show. It is UCL day, a day that Liverpool fans will not know is happening because they aren't in the Champions League. Chelsea aren't even in Europe. Tottenham aren't even in Europe, but the big teams and Manchester City can all celebrate today and go, oh, it's the Champions League draw. And I am waiting for Manchester United to draw Sevilla for the 99th time in about 500 years today. And if we do draw Sevilla, I'll actually be happy because Sevilla, but other than Feyenoord, is probably the worst team in pot one. And Sevilla have actually lost their opening few games in the Champions League. But I wanted to go live an hour before the draw because then we can talk about the news because deadline day is tomorrow. There's some updates on Amrabat. Cucurella, which was basically done, is like no longer done, and we're going for Reguilon. So there's a lot of news going out. So I thought, you know what? From about 4, from about 4 to about 4:45, we're going to do 40 minutes of just talking about Man United, talking about the news. The Champions League draw starts at 5. So from 4:45 till 5, we'll be talking about Champions League draw. At 5, the Champions League draw starts. We'll do a watch along for that. When I say the Champions League draw starts at 5, I want to play a guessing game to when the draw actually starts. Because they will start at 5 and they will talk and they will waffle. But I reckon they'll start 5:53. We'll play a game in the chat. Guess when the Champions League draws actually going to start? Probably 5:53. We'll probably have to sit through 53 minutes of waffle. Starts the draw. But I am excited for the Champions League draw. I'm going to get an Excel spreadsheet up. So when I do the draw, I can actually put everything in and fill it in. So all of you guys are up to date. And to be honest, the draw's boring to watch. So you might as well watch along to me, but we just chat absolute shite. And we will change positions, put the draw up on the screen there as well. So let's get into the news. Please do smash the like button, people. Of course, subscribe down below if you're new and share the video as well. Everyone's saying 5:45. It normally takes about 45 minutes of waffle. So we could be live for like 2 hours today. We generally could be live for 2 hours today. And what a partial end to this window. And honestly, the end to the window has been embarrassing. I mean, Cucurella to Reguilon. I mean, Cucurella wasn't my ideal choice, but basically, do you know why Cucurella deal is basically fallen through? Cucurella played yesterday versus Wimbledon and was one of Chelsea's best players. So Chelsea like, oh, maybe we shouldn't loan him out. And I'm like, well, he's playing Wimbledon. You know, Brandon Williams would look like one of our best players versus Wimbledon, but Chelsea are a bit thick like that. So Chelsea thought, oh, Cucurella had a good game, 4 key passes. He was really good yesterday, Cucurella. So I was a bit excited this morning about Cucurella. I said, look, I don't want Cucurella, but then I watched Cucurella last night. I thought, oh, I'm a bit excited. You know, Ten Hag could cook with this guy. He had a really good game last night, Cucurella. And then Chelsea are now getting cold feet about giving him to United because he had a good game. So now we're going for Reguilon, who is a significant downgrade on Cucurella. I mean, look, I think Tagliafico would have been good. I think Rico Henry would have been good, but they're good. You know, it's very hard to get a good player on loan this late in the transfer window. So it looks like it's going to be Reguilon, and we're going to get into that. But Cucurella isn't off now. It's just that Chelsea basically, I've seen that United are in for him and want like a 10 million loan fee. And Man United are thinking, well, we are broke, you know. We're poverty FC at the moment. But I have to say, I agree with the super chat. I think the end of the transfer window from Manchester United has been embarrassing. The way we've ended this transfer window is the fact that Amrabat's not a United player, the fact that we apparently did some 1 million bid, loan bid, but then Romano's saying we didn't do it. So who knows? But the Athletic are credible. The way this transfer window has ended is a joke. What should have happened is Maguire and McTominay should have been sold, and we should have brought in Amrabat and Todibo there and then. And these final days of the transfer window, we would have had Amrabat, we'd have had Todibo, we'd been exploring a Gravenberch deal on loan, and we'd be exploring a young attacker like Marcos Leonardo. That's how the transfer window should have gone. In fact, actually, screw Todibo, screw Maguire. Maguire should have been given the boot in June, and we should have got 40 million Kim Min-jae. Boom. Maguire should have been sold. So Maguire should have been sold. Kim Min-jae comes in. McTominay should have been gone with Fred, Amrabat, and Gravenberch come in, or maybe Onana if he sees Onana as a more like replacement for McTominay over Gravenberch. Boom, boom, boom. These final days could be us scrambling. Okay, we've got a bit of money. Let's bring in a forward. That's what it should have been, because I still think we need a forward. And Hannibal Mejbri is set to stay now. Donny's set to go out on loan. Pellistри's set to stay now. Alvaro Fernandez will go out on loan if we get this left back deal done. But the fact that we're making a left back loan so complicated, and it's just a crap left back as well, is it's got Manchester United, I feel, written all over it. Just the state of this window, it's not good. But hopefully it gets better. And what I will say is 20 million for Dean Henderson we got today. Do not give me this crap about we've got no money. Since we signed Rasmus Højlund, Man United said we can't get Amrabat until we raise money in sales. Since Rasmus Højlund's left, we've made 45 million in sales. We've made 45 million in sales since we signed Rasmus Højlund. So we have 45 million to spend without FFP touching us. In fact, I've done the maths. I think we have about 89 million pounds to spend without FFP touching us. So if we went and lost 5-0 to Forest, we probably would have spent about 90 million on about 2 players, because we have about 90 million to spend before it actually affect us, like we did when we lost 4-0 to Brentford. And we were losing 4-0 to Brentford the week before. We were saying we couldn't spend because of FFP. We went and spent 150 million after we lost 4-0 to Brentford. It's all the United lies and the United excuse and like United negotiation tactic. But I believe Amrabat will be done because we do have the funds. And I do want to get into the news because I am going on. Nick says it'll probably start 6 p.m. Yeah, this could be a very, very long live stream. But look, you guys are going to come in the chat. We're going to make it fun. We are going to discuss the news. We are going to have a bit of a chit chat around things as well. But it normally takes about 50 minutes for the Champions League draw to start. Reguilon is below average. I think he is as well. Let me just grab my water quickly. Just grab my water. I've got a bit of a headache today, so I thought I'd eat some chocolate before I went live to like give me energy, but I still got a headache. And someone said in my morning video today, I got an interesting comment, and they were like, Alice, you've aged so badly this transfer window. I was like, thanks, mate. But I was like, that's what the Glazers have done to me. That's what Glazers have done to me in the transfer window. They've aged me. I'm not 22. I'm 69 now. You know, as well. What's the point of someone who is getting? What is the point of getting someone who is going to be cut tied? And United need to get Amrabat and Tagliafico. And what happens to Henderson, Elanga, Fred, and the academy sales money parasites? I agree. They are parasites. They haven't announced Bayendier. I don't think they're going to announce Bayendier because everyone's just going to comment laughy emojis. Where's Amrabat? Where's Amrabat? What they'll do is if they get Amrabat, if they can announce Amrabat, they'll announce Bayendier. But they know. They announced Bayendier, everyone's going to laugh. I'll take Reguilon over no one. Look, yeah, I'd take Reguilon over no one. And Maguire and Henderson in England squad, but Sterling not. Make it make sense. Yeah, can we talk about this? Because I do want to get into news because I have been waffling a little bit at the start of the video. But let's talk about this, actually. Let's get this up for you guys. Let me show you the England squad. I'm pretty sure I replied to it. Yeah, I applied. Sterling, Ward-Prowse unlucky to miss out, especially considering Henderson playing in Saudi and Calvin Phillips hasn't played for months. Probably get someone to tell me Calvin Phillips has played for months. And Maguire's not worth it, yeah. The only reason I didn't even say Maguire is because he's actually good for England. But this is the England squad. Sam Johnston, Jordan Pickford, Aaron Ramsdale. Is Nick Pope injured or something? Because sure, I don't know, Nick Pope's not in there. You've got Ben Chilwell, fair enough. Luke Shaw's injured. Yeah, cool. Levi Colwill, fair enough. Lewis Dunk, maybe there's better options out there. Maybe Ben White, but Southgate doesn't like Ben White. Apparently Southgate and Ben White are a bit of a bust-up. Mark Gay, fantastic young player. Harry, no minutes. Maguire. Literally, Harry Maguire could not play a single minute of football, and if he is fit come summer, he will be in the Euro squad starting for England. Harry Maguire could go a year without playing a single minute of football, and I guarantee you he'll start for England in the Euros. And I said this in my video earlier today. Had Gareth Southgate not picked and called up Harry Maguire, I generally put money on that Maguire would be literally going to West Ham like, oh my god, I'll cut my salary, take me back. You wonder why Harry Maguire wouldn't leave United unless we paid his wages in full. Because Harry Maguire knows game time doesn't matter for him because he will still be picked by South Pratt. He will still be picked by South Pratt for the England squad. Kyle Walker, Kieran Trippier, fine. But you know what I said? I said this in my video earlier. I said, Wan-Bissaka has been fantastic for Man United the last 6 months, and he's not had a look in by Southgate. And to be honest, there's a lot of really good right backs: Reece James, Trent, Kyle Walker, Kieran Trippier. So I get why Wan-Bissaka hasn't had a look in. But Wan-Bissaka has been brilliant for 6 months. He's not had an absolute look in. Harry Maguire's been dreadful. Harry Maguire's not played. First name on the sheet. Trent Alexander-Arnold is a midfielder now. Jude Bellingham's in the team. Conor Gallagher's in the team. Henderson's in Saudi Arabia. Shambles that he's in the team. I watched a game of Saudi Arabian football. It's rubbish. Just because they've signed a few good players, it's awful. It's absolutely awful. You know when the way I explain it is, okay, I used to play football a lot growing up, and I would play at my football club, and everyone at my football club, all the girls at my football club, they play football. So all the girls at my football club, they play football, all at high level because we always play football at my football club. But then when I used to play in girls' PE, I was the only girl in my year in school that played football. So when I played football in girls' PE, I was like Messi. I was just running around them. I was having loads of fun. I had to be told I couldn't score the next goal. Every time I scored a goal, I couldn't score the next one. I'd have to play with my left foot only. I used to run around players. That's Saudi League. it's like a PE. It's like it's I watched the Saudi League. It's like really good players against really shit people. But Henderson's gonna have no practice. He's just playing PE, and he's in the lineup. James Ward-Prowse has been fantastic for West Ham in those opening 3 games. Not looked in. Calvin Phillips is an even bigger joke than Harry Maguire. Like Calvin Phillips, he's not played in months, I swear. And then obviously the attack is fine. I think Raheem Sterling was very unlucky to miss out. James Ward-Prowse was unlucky to miss out. But yeah, I think the attack's fine. But I was looking at the England squad and I thought, South Pratt, he's called South Pratt for a reason. Do you know what I mean? That's why he's called South Pratt as well. Harry Maguire's is out. It's very frustrating to observe that Man United can't sign players needed just because there are players who can't be sold because they were made bigger than the club. Yeah, do you know what? And we've only got ourselves to blame for the reasons players can't be sold. The reason, breaking news. No, it's not. No, it's not. No. I saw red emoji and I thought Fabrizio Romano tweeted about Man United. He's tweeted about Bayern Munich. It's not breaking news. But you're absolutely spot on. Basically, we can't buy players because we can't sell players. But the reason we can't sell players is because we've given these bang average players ridiculous contracts and boosted their egos. And we've also brought players that haven't been good at United. Let's be honest. I love Donny van de Beek. And Donny van de Beek being a flop at United actually isn't his fault. Sometimes we sign a player and they're flopping, it's their fault. But Donny was never given a fair run-in. And the reason Donny was never given a fair run-in is because he never fitted the system that we wanted to play. Ollie's football, Donny was a possession-based player. Ollie was a counter-attacking player. We signed Donny van de Beek. I don't know why. Do you know what I mean? I don't know why we signed Donny. But we signed players like Donny that actually did not fit the system of what the manager was trying to do. But the board signed them because, it's a good player. And then they don't play or they don't work because they don't suit what we're trying to do. And the club's unsustainable, so everyone's bad at one point. So then their value goes down, but then we can't sell them because their value's gone down so much that no one's going to even contemplate giving them the wages we give them. And then we just end up in this whole crazy scenario. That's just kind of what it seems to be at Manchester United. It's honestly, guys, an absolute joke, in all honesty, to be honest as well. But apparently Palhinha could be going to Bayern, which means McTominay to Bayern. Yeah, I think McTominay to Bayern's looking less likely. However, just had a thought, people. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, being linked to Bayern Munich and being linked to Fulham. Do you think this? João Palhinha has told Fulham that he'd like to join Bayern. There's an agreement on personal terms, blah, blah, blah. But Fulham needed a replacement to make that happen. Do you think Fulham would go for McTominay? Because West Ham were going to go for McTominay and Bayern Munich were going to go for McTominay. Could Fulham make a last-minute move for McTominay? Just a theory as well. How much time before the market closes? About 30 hours. We've got a day and 6 hours. There'll be 2 videos and 2 live streams tomorrow to cover deadline day. I've got an Amrabat here we go video in the drafts as well. Everyone's saying no. Maybe that's just a thought. Paula says, I've always admired Cucurella because he's everywhere on the pitch and never gives up. I hope United get him. All don't say he's not coming out practically done. Do you know what's mad? Is Cucurella to United was practically done. That is the thing. Cucurella to United. Roman, I literally did a video earlier and I said Roman says Cucurella to United is practically done. It's expected to be a couple hours. Blah blah blah. What's changed? What has changed is Cucurella was arguably Chelsea's best player versus Wimbledon yesterday. 4 key passes, was everywhere, worked really hard. I started getting excited about Cucurella this morning. I thought, you know what? Never really wanted Cucurella, but he was quite good. I thought, he was quite good for Chelsea. Maybe I'll take Cucurella. So I thought, you know what? I'll take Cucurella now. That's what I was thinking. Anyway, Cucurella was good. Chelsea are like, he was good. Maybe we should keep him. They've got Chilwell back. He'll probably get injured anyway. So Chelsea have been all weird, so we're going for Reguilon. And look, Reguilon ain't good. I know we were linked to Reguilon a few years ago, but look, if you don't work out at Spurs, you ain't going to work out at United. And the way Tottenham are like, please take him. For me, I think this is a big red flag. I think it's a massive red flag. Tottenham are looking at us and going, please take Reguilon. But I don't know what that accent is as well. But it was said as well, Fulham need a DM. Yeah, so I don't know if Fulham would go for McTominay because he isn't a DM. You are right there. Qatar is our saviour. Qatar, please come and save us. McTominay not getting sold. Yeah, I don't think McTominay will get sold. It was just a fear as well. We need midfield reinforcement. Amrabat's the answer release. The way I look at it is our squad now plus Amrabat, Kobbie Mainoo, and Rasmus Højlund will look miles better. Amrabat, Kobbie Mainoo, and Rasmus Højlund added to our squad will look miles better. So that's the thing to be positive about as well. He would be cup tied as well. Good point. Reguilon can cross. Can he cross? I don't know what Reguilon's going to do. But let's actually get into the story on Reguilon because I've just kind of waffled about it. So it was firstly said today, breaking, Man United are now seriously considering Reguilon on loan from Tottenham. And this was said by Ornstein, so obviously it's going to get serious. Ornstein said that Man United had submitted a proposal to sign Marc Cucurella, but after the Spaniard played for Chelsea in the Carabao Cup win against AFC Wimbledon Wednesday night, they're now actively exploring a move for Reguilon. Essentially, we were going to get Cucurella. Chelsea are now the second thoughts. Now we're looking at Reguilon, is what Ornstein said. It was also said by Sammy Mortbell that Reguilon's chances of moving to Manchester United have improved a little in the last few hours. Chelsea left-back Marc Cucurella is still an option, but they're saying Reguilon's chances are improving. Marc Cucurella is still the first choice option. I'm going to let you guys know that now. This doesn't mean we're getting Reguilon, but it looks like Cucurella is going to be more difficult and we're going towards Reguilon. Cucurella is number one, Reguilon's number two. Reguilon's the option if Cucurella falls through, and there's indications coming out that Cucurella might fall through. I mean, this club is so embarrassing. You can't even get Cucurella. Only this club is this embarrassing. They can't even get Cucurella. And it was said that Man United switched attention to Reguilon despite Marc Cucurella being the preferred choice. They said that United want an option to terminate a loan in January. Cucurella has played for Chelsea this season, so he cannot be transferred to a third club this term. So essentially, now that Chelsea have played Cucurella, it means that United basically can't terminate his loan in January. So Chelsea have basically deliberately played Cucurella to be like, you have to take him. If you take him on loan, you have to take him for the whole year now. So Man United are like, well, you've done that on purpose to be an absolute prick. Is again essentially what's going on with that whole Cucurella situation as well. But there's lots of updates coming in as well. Guys, do smash that like button as well. Do subscribe down below if you're new. We've got a few stories going in on Amrabat. Now, Man United are going to put in an Amrabat bid today, reportedly, which is going to be super, super exciting when we put that Amrabat bid in. And Romano said that United are working on preparing a bid. And Romano said that United are working on preparing, a serious bid for Amrabat. So I think it's a loan with an obligation to buy, but there's a feeling that United are actually going to make a serious offer for Amrabat as well. Keep smashing the likes, keep subscribing, keep sharing the video, people. Let me know your thoughts on everything. The Champions League draw, we will change the watch along to the Champions League draw watch along in about 20 minutes. I can't wait for the Champions League draw to start. It will be good as well. Hopefully we get some good invitations as well, but they've cup tied him as well. Reguilon is crap. I mean, guys, let me know your thoughts on Reguilon down below. I mean, he's not Amrabat, and I'd rather have Cucurella, so I'm not going to be most positive as well. Someone said Reguilon is not good enough. Malacia is better than him. Yeah, I agree. I agree. In pure cash terms, United could buy Amrabat and Gravenberch. Both would be happy to burn a Ten Hag. They could, but they won't. Why is it embarrassing? Pay 12 to 5 million total cost in his loan, and then after they cup tied him. So Sean, you make a good point there, but it should be a 2 million loan, and Chelsea are trying to mug us off. So I mean, it's just embarrassing that we can't get it done. But actually, it would be silly to do that. That's what I was trying to say. Maybe I didn't phrase that right as well. And why do we pay 55 million for that mug? For that mug mount? Look, I don't 100% understand why we got Mason Mount. I do a little bit, because we saw Eriksen versus Man City, and a lot of people blamed De Gea for the FA Cup final loss. Yes, partly it was De Gea. But the other reason was, of course, Eriksen. Eriksen could not keep up with the tempo, could not cover the ground to keep up with Man City's midfield. And Erik ten Hag knew he needed someone to do the Eriksen role. And essentially, Eriksen is a number 10 who's playing as the deeper number 8 next to Casemiro. Basically, Ten Hag's brought Mason Mount, who is a number 10 and a number 8, but he wants him to play as more of a deeper number 8 next to Casemiro, not Mason Mount's natural position, a bit like Eriksen. But what Mason Mount has is Mason Mount is very good off the ball. He covers a lot of ground. He ticks a lot of boxes. So essentially, United are in for Mason Mount because they're like, okay, boom, good Eriksen placement, boom. The problem with Mason Mount is, while I think he will be a good signing, while I think there's a good player in Mason Mount and all of that stuff, the way I look at it, and I think we can all agree on this, is actually like, he doesn't quite fit if we want to play possession-based football. Him, Bruno, Casemiro, none of those players are good possession-based footballers. So for me, Ten Hag really wanted Mason Mount. The board have backed him. They brought him a player that he wants. But was Mason Mount that much of a priority? Do you know what I mean? I get to an extent why Ten Hag wanted him, but he's not Frankie de Jong. He's not Enzo Fernandez. He's not Moises Caicedo. He's not good for his retention. He's not good for his possession. For me, it should have been Amrabat, Onana, Højlund, then go Mason Mount as a bonus, as a luxury. That's what I would have done personally myself. You know, Ten Hag wanted Mason Mount, cool, get him. But Mason Mount shouldn't have been that first signing that we spent 55 million on. I completely agree with you, because there's players like Enzo Lafi and Orkun Koku that could have done that Mason Mount role for like half the price. You know, Mateus Nunes, who's just gone to Man City, was less money than Mason Mount. Mateus Nunes gone to Man City 46 million. Mason Mount was 55 million. I mean, at the end of the day, at least we didn't spend 65 million on Kai Havertz, because at the end of the day, people won't like Mason Mount, but he's a much better player than Kai Havertz. And Arsenal spent 65 million on Kai Havertz, who they're trying to play in midfield with Odegaard. But I do think Mason Mount will work out. But my whole feeling on Mason Mount is Mason Mount's only a good signing if we get Amrabat on top of it. And I say that now because if we sign Mason Mount and we don't get Amrabat, we've not addressed those midfield issues. If we sign Mason Mount on top of Amrabat, fine. Mason Mount, for me, I'm okay with it if Amrabat comes in. But if Amrabat doesn't come in and we say, oh, it's because we spent too much money on Mason Mount, I will not be okay with that move whatsoever, in all honesty, as well. And I think a lot of people are the same as well. But I think Mason Mount has potential to become good, but he's one of those that when we sign, I'm skeptical. Like, the only signing we signed that I'm like, boom, is Onana. Like, I think Højlund's a great player. I'm going to get behind him. I think he's got potential to be brilliant, but Højlund's not a player for now. The only signing that we signed, when we signed him, I was like, boom, yeah, it is Onana. I think when we signed Onana, I was like, okay, boom, he's going to have a real impact, and he has. I know he wasn't the greatest the other game, but he's had an impact as well. Someone said play Maguire left back. Do you know what? We have Alessandro Martins that can play left back, but that means Maguire plays. We have Malassi that can play left back, and we have Alvaro Fernandez that can play left back as well, and we even have Delo that can play left back. So, you know, if us getting a left back stops us getting a midfielder, that would be absolutely crazy as well. Mount is class. Hope you guys don't judge a player on 2 games. Amrabat will take time to settle in, prepare yourself. Good players, says Sean. And I like this attitude from Sean. I don't 100% think that Mount ticks all our boxes, but there's no doubt in my mind there's a good player in Mount. And for me, I get that a lot of us weren't happy when we signed Mount, but I think you can't judge him till the end of the season. I think Shaw makes a good point here. Let's not judge Mount until the end of the season, okay? Let's not, because if Højlund has 3 bad games and we start hitting on Højlund, all that's going to do is reduce Højlund's confidence, and that means that's not going to do a lot. The thing is, I get that people don't like the Mount signing, but the thing is, we've got to back Mount, we've got to back Højlund, we've got to back any player we sign, even if it's Reguilon, we have to back them, because if we start turning on a new player we sign after 2 games, we're idiots. Do you know what I mean? If we sign this new player and we turn on after 2 games, we're fools. Because all you do by turning on your own player is actually you might knock their confidence. You just have to back your player as well. You know, you just have to back your player as well. The signing of Mount, I don't think the balance quite works in midfield. But Mount, Casemiro, Bruno can work against those smaller teams 100%. Just in those bigger games, I think the balance might work as well. But look, yeah, we were looking at attacking mids last year, and fullbacks need to do a better job defending when in possession. Nothing wrong with Mount, says Sean. And I do think the Spurs game that we lost 2-0, first half, Mason Mount was our best player. I said in my watch along for the Spurs game, first half, I actually thought Mason Mount was one of our best players. And the midfield was really good in the first half, but then the second half, the midfield was poor. But actually, what cost us versus Spurs is the fact that our front 3 couldn't finish the dinner, because we created 4 big chances in that first half versus Spurs. Not one went in. If we'd gone up 2-0 at half time versus Spurs, or we'd got that penalty given, maybe we'd have beat Spurs. Maybe we'd have got 3 points. Someone says breaking. Is there breaking news coming in? Ornstein dagger. Ornstein dagger. Okay, apparently Ornstein's put the dagger out. Ornstein. Oh, what's Ornstein said then? What's Ornstein said? Oh, another story here. Exclusive. Man United working to complete loan signing of Sergio Reguilon from Tottenham. 26-year-old left-back granted permission by Tottenham Hotspur to travel for medical. Man United shifted from Chelsea's Marc Cucurella and also aimed to recruit Amrabat. So, as said in the title and the thumbnail of the video, as Ornstein's just said now, United are no longer in for Cucurella. They have shifted their attention to Reguilon, and they've also shifted their attention to Amrabat. So, as things stand right now, Manchester United are working on a deal for Reguilon, and Manchester United are working on a deal for Amrabat right now as things stand, which pretty much makes sense. Working on both of those deals, people. as well. So I think it's going to be Amrabat and Reguilon, and unless we sell anyone else, I can't see much happening as well. Basically, Ornstein said that Man United's decision was made from footballing and financial reasons, with the hope that Reguilon can be joined by Fiorentina midfielder Amrabat before Friday's deadline, and that the switch is all due to financial and cup tie reasons, which makes sense. And that Marc Cucurella was the priority target, but his appearance for Chelsea last night makes the matter more complicated. If Man United had wanted the option of sending him back to Chelsea in January, that would no longer be liable to exit and appear for a third club this season. So essentially, it was Cucurella that they wanted, but the game he played in versus Chelsea has complicated it. And that Man United have been granted permission for Sergio Reguilon to travel and undergo his medical. So effectively, it's come out by Ornstein that the deal for Sergio Reguilon is set to be complete. So we've got some breaking news coming in here. I'm going to quickly share another screen with you here. But Sergio Reguilon is essentially done, it looks like, what Ornstein's saying. Sergio Reguilon is set to do a medical. David Ornstein has just come out. Wrong bloody screen, you twat. Sorry. David Ornstein's come out right now, and he said this. Ornstein with the bomber, baby. Ornstein said breaking, Man United set to complete a deal for left back Sergio Reguilon on loan for Tottenham Hotspur, and he might travel and do his medical tonight. So this Reguilon move could move really quickly, because there's actually reports coming out saying that he's set to do his Man United medical tonight, which will be really interesting as well. So if he is set to do a Man United medical tonight, there could be an indication that it's basically, I think we've basically got confirmation here that it's going to be Reguilon and not Cucurella. I think that should pretty much there, because you've got Ornstein saying United set to complete a deal for left back Reguilon from Tottenham Hotspur. So United set to complete a deal for Reguilon. And then it's also come out, and it's been said as well, that Man United have been granted a position for Reguilon to travel and undergo a medical. So the fact that Tottenham has said, yeah, Reguilon, you can go and do your medical, I mean, I think that's done. Do I think Reguilon's a good signing? Not particularly. Do I think there's better deals out there than Reguilon? Yes, absolutely, I do. But at the end of the day, value for money is better than Cucurella, because the Cucurella deal is looking to be increasingly expensive. Increasingly expensive this Cucurella deal is looking to be. So you know what? I don't blame Man United one bit for going in for Reguilon, because yeah, the Cucurella deal, it's just looking a bit pricey and not worth it now. So while Cucurella is the better player, and why Reguilon is essentially a Spurs reject, which isn't always the best sign, you just can't exactly sit there and blame Manchester United for this one bit, can you? You can't one bit as well. But that is the Ornstein bomber. Reguilon, basically, here we go, done deal. It's probably going to come really soon. 215 likes. Someone said Alice United Stan tweet. What have United Stan tweeted as well? United Standard tweeted that basically breaking, Man United set to complete a deal for left back Sergio Reguilon on loan for Tottenham, and Man United have been granted permission for Reguilon to travel and undergo his medical. Have they said anything else? Ornstein said that Marc Cucurella was the priority target, but his appearance for Chelsea last night complicated matters. If Man United had wanted the option of sending him back to Chelsea in January, he would no longer be eligible to an exit and appear for a third club this season. I can't say that word, but you know what I mean. And they said Man United's decision was made for footballing and financial reasons, with the hope that Reguilon can be joined by Fiorentina midfielder Amrabat before Friday's deadline. So again, we've got Ornstein basically coming in and confirming they want the Fiorentina player, and they want Amrabat, and they want that done as well. So that is what the United Stand tweeted, and essentially I think Reguilon's a done deal. Let me know your thoughts on Reguilon in the chat, people. I'm going to scroll down. I've got loads of people in the live stream. We've got 1,200 people watching, so smash that like button as well. RJ says, I can't stop laughing at how shambolic the club are. And Alice, I really like to interview the United Stand. Hopefully more plans coming soon. Yeah, hopefully. I mean, they're based in Manchester. It takes me about 4 hours to get to Manchester. But when I do go up to Manchester, I'll contact them, because it's always fun going on there as well. Guys, is the Fernandez kid gone? Not yet. So basically, Alvaro Fernandez is set to go to Granada on loan. Once this deal was done, once this deal was over the line, the belief is that Alvaro Fernandez will be going to Granada on loan once this deal is pretty much done and over the line, which, you know, I like Alvaro Fernandez. I think he would have had some use, and I think that United, you know, would have been smart to keep Alvaro Fernandez. But if Reguilon's not affecting Amrabat, I have no issue with it, because at the end of the day, you know, the situation is sign a left back and don't get Amrabat, absolutely criminal. What are you, idiots? Sign a left back and get Amrabat, can't complain, the more the merrier. And maybe a loan deal would be better for someone like Alvaro Fernandez. Now, the only thing is that I don't like is Alvaro Fernandez got a loan offer from Burnley and we rejected it, and then got the loan offer from Granada and we accepted it. And surely if we wanted to play in the Premier League, a Premier League loan would be more beneficial. But maybe United think, oh, he's a natural Spanish speaker. It'll be easier for him to settle in the Spanish. I don't know. I think he is Spanish, isn't he? I was going to say he's Uruguayan, but that's Pellistri. He is Spanish. So maybe that's what United are thinking, because Pellistri obviously speaks Spanish. And, you know, with United, a lot of our players that come in are actually Spanish speaking or from South America. We actually do loan out to Spain instead of Premier League clubs. So maybe it's just about settling them in as well. And now United bring all the mid-table rejects in. What shame and backwards. The thing about Reguilon is he's a Spurs reject. You know, my granddad was a Spurs fan, and when we signed Berbatov and Michael Carrick, he used to go, "Oh, you're just signing our rejects. You're just signing our rejects." But obviously, he was joking, because Berbatov and Michael Carrick were good players. But we actually have finally signed a Spurs reject in Reguilon, so it's not the best signing as well. And it was embarrassing that we'd even consider a Tottenham reject, says Chris as well. And Ian says Reguilon is perfect, and Chris says shameful signing. Very mixed feelings. Look, Reguilon is a left back, financially fine, Premier League fine. I'm going to describe Reguilon as mid. And you know what? That is the most 12-year-old saying. So the amount of 12-year-olds to say that these days that have no grammar, and to everything they will say mid, because they don't have the intelligence to say anything else to things. But the Reguilon signing is mid. Like, that's the only way I can describe it. It is mid. It's just like, it's not awful, okay? It's not a good signing. He's not as good as Cucurella. He's not as good as Rico Henry. He's not as good as Tagliafico, and he's clearly the cheap option. Glazeronomics, people. He's clearly the cheap option. That is what United do, Glazeronomics. Fair enough. Is he awful? No. Is he a Spurs reject? Yes. Could we do better? Yes. Does him being cheap affect the Amrabat deal? No. So are we going to get Amrabat on top of him? Yes. Am I too bothered as a depth signing for 6 months? Not really. I mean, it's not a signing that I'm like, wow, what a signing. But I'm not going to get annoyed about it. It's just a cheap little left back that comes in. It's just like signing Wout Weghorst and Ighalo again. I mean, the way I look at it is, we signed Wout Weghorst, we signed Ighalo, we signed Reguilon. As a player, I guess, we've got to back them. But then I also look at it and go, would Man City be doing a loan deal for Reguilon? Would Man City be doing a loan deal for Wout Weghorst? And would Man City be doing a loan deal for Ighalo? No. And it's a big pattern at United, where we lose a player or through injury, or we sell a player and we're not good enough to replace them, or we don't have the funds to replace them because of FFP, but we actually do have the funds, we're just lying. So we go and get these little crappy players in that actually no top 7 Premier League side would get. None of the big 7 would ever consider signing Wout Weghorst on loan, Ighalo on loan, or Reguilon on loan. No matter how desperate they were, none of the big 7 would even consider it. United do. And I think that is the frustrating thing. I don't have a big issue with Reguilon. It's a left back at the end of the day. But I think the big problem is, it's like, well, you know, United, none of the other big 7 clubs would do this, but United are doing this. And you're just like, oh, we're so unserious. You know, this is why we're behind, because we sign these kind of players, whereas, you know, Arsenal and City and Liverpool are all signing good players. And that is the frustrating thing about being a United fan as well. We've got super chatting. Thank you very much for the super chat, Alex Marmon. Signing Reguilon and Cucurella does make sense. He won't cost us much money, and in terms of a loan fee and wages, he won't be cup tied in the League Cup. And that's what I'm saying. Cucurella is a better player, but now Cucurella has played, and he did look good when he played Cucurella. But now Cucurella has played, I forgot that he's cup tied now. We'd have to do a whole year for Cucurella instead of 6 months, and Luke Shaw will be back in 3 months. And I think you're right. At the end of the day, he's cheaper, he can play more than Cucurella. It might just be the better deal, even though I don't think he's a better player. I want 250 likes, guys, so please do smash that like button. Of course, subscribe down below if you're new. People saying Reguilon is better than Cucurella. A lot of people saying Reguilon is better than Cucurella as well. People saying we're signing a Spurs reject. Reguilon is fine for a loan deal. Grow up, you lot. And I think Sean has a point. At the end of the day, it's not a brilliant signing, but it's just a loan deal. It's just a temporary deal. I think it's frustrating that, you know, United always go for the cheap options, and we're getting him because he is the cheap option. Like, if we'd have got Tagliafico or Rico Henry, I'd have been really happy with it. And Reguilon isn't as good as them, but it's just a temporary loan deal. You know, it's a mid signing. Let's be honest, it's a mid signing, but it's a temporary loan deal. It's not the end of the world as well. And Reguilon is overlapping fullback. I don't know if he's defensively good. Maybe, I don't know. Ten Hag wants a fullback that's going to be able to go forward and tuck in the midfield. I don't know if Reguilon can do that, to be honest. I haven't done any research on Reguilon because I thought it was going to be Cucurella. Any news about Amrabat? Yeah, no, there's been a few stories about Amrabat today. Essentially, United expect to get the deal done. I mean, David Ornstein literally said, if we just refresh what the United stand put out, that United's plans to get Reguilon and Amrabat now. So essentially, United's plans to get Reguilon and Amrabat. Reguilon's set to travel for his medical, bish bash bosh, all of that stuff. And then Amrabat, yeah, it's just about putting in a bid and agreeing a fee with Fiorentina. But United are very much in talks for this Amrabat deal, very much discussing agreeing a bid and all of that stuff. So yeah, I wouldn't be too worried about all of that as well. Keep smashing the likes, keep subscribing, keep sharing the video. Thank you very much for the super chat here. Glazers need a tight slap on their face. We should not allow any fans to enter Old Trafford if needed. Storm into the pitch at kickoff. Complete the boycott. We need to be aggressive. Fans in England are too nice. Understandable. But you know what? What we need to do is we need some absolute billionaire Man United fan to fly people from all over the world to Tampa Bay, Florida, pay for like 500 grand's worth of flights, fly like 2,000 pounds to Tampa, Florida, and start a big protest out of the Glazers' house. That would be perfect as well. A deal for Amrabat is almost done, guys. Yeah, a deal for Amrabat is almost done. We are going to switch this to the Champions League. The Champions League draw, watch along. Guys, I was actually got a question for you guys because I couldn't figure this out. So I was looking at the Champions League pots. And Man United are in pot 2 with Arsenal, and Man City are in pot 1, and then obviously Newcastle are in pot 4, because you know all of that stuff. But what pot are Liverpool in? I was having a look at the Champions League draw, and I just generally could not figure out what pot Liverpool were in. I was just looking all over for the Champions League draw, and I couldn't find what pot Liverpool were in. You know, so I don't know. We're in pot 2. We'll look at the pots as well. Actually, we'll look at the pots now. I'm just changing the thumbnail and stuff for the Champions League draw. I hope we get Sevilla or Feyenoord from pot 1, and I can't believe I'm saying I hope we get Sevilla because you guys know how I feel about Sevilla. You guys know how I feel about Sevilla. Breaking news: Sky Sports have said that Manchester United are close to completing a deal for Reguilon, and he's set to do his Manchester United medical, I believe, as well. But let's get into a few stories. Let's get the UCL pots out as well. UCL pot. Let me search up UCL pot for you. I don't care about pot 2. I don't care. Okay. Here are the UCL pots, I believe. These are the UCL pots, people. So we've got the UCL pots here. We've got City, we've got Barca, we've got Napoli, we've got Bayern, we've got Benfica, we've got PSG, we've got Sevilla, and we've got Feyenoord in pot 1. We can't get City because they're Premier League, okay? There'll be some people that were saying, oh, I want a test. I want Barca, Bayern, or PSG. We don't want Barca, Bayern, or PSG, and we don't want Napoli, and we don't want Benfica. We want those bottom 2. We want Sevilla, or we want Feyenoord. Pot 2 is Man United, Real Madrid, Borussia Dortmund, Inter Milan, FC Porto, Atletico Madrid, Arsenal, RB Leipzig. Again, pot 2, that's us, so we're fine. You know what would be brilliant? I want Arsenal to get Bayern because Bayern always batter Arsenal. With pot 2, if Arsenal in a group with Bayern, AC Milan, and I don't know, Galatasaray, brilliant. I mean, pot 4 is rubbish. Newcastle are clear of everyone in pot 4, aren't they? PSV would be a difficult game. PSV and Milan would be 2 difficult games, but I think we'd beat everyone else. I think we'd beat Lazio as well. So ideally, Man United get Feyenoord or Sevilla. We get probably someone like Sparta, and then probably someone like RC Lens or Young Boys, Prince Andrew's favourite team. I'd say that would probably be ideal for the pots as well. Pot noodle. Reguilon should be a solid player, better than Tellez. You know what? Let's be positive. If it wasn't, at the end of the day, he's better than Tellez. Reguilon is better than Tellez as well. Liverpool are in a cooking pot. Liverpool in a pot noodle. Yeah. What pot are Liverpool in? A cooking pot, a pot noodle. That's where Liverpool are. What's the Europa League theme tune going? That's not how it goes. Is that how the Europa League goes? I don't know what the Europa League theme tune's like, people. I've forgotten it. You know what? That's not my problem. Of course, I've forgotten the Europa League theme tune. I've forgotten the Europa League theme tune because I don't need to remember it because my club isn't in the Europa League with the likes of Liverpool, small clubs. Brighton are probably the biggest team in the Europa League this season. Guys, what's your thoughts on Ansu Fati to Brighton? What are your thoughts on Ansu Fati to Brighton? Because I've got to say, fair play to Brighton. Ansu Fati to Brighton, eh? Fair play. He's on his way to Brighton here. Fabrizio Romano, the way Brighton do business, fair enough as well. He's set to earn twice as much as any other player at Brighton, but that's just because Barcelona gave him crazy wages and number 10 shirt. But I tell you what, Barcelona are better than us, but they're basically run like us. They're a financial mess, but Barcelona are a financial mess with owners that want to spend. We're a financial mess without owners that want to spend, but they give out crazy deals. They gave Ansu Fati number 10. But it's actually mad to think that Brighton have signed of Ansu Fati as well. And Brighton will cover 80% of his salary as well. So fair play, but yeah. Ansu Fati will travel to England in less than 1 hour to complete his loan move to Brighton. And he apparently rejected Tottenham for Brighton. Agreement reached yesterday, which I think is madness as well. 308 likes. People keep smashing that like button. Of course, subscribe down below if you're new as well. The Europa League theme tune sounds like the Emmerdale theme tune. I've never actually watched Emmerdale. And Ansu's going to be a good player for Brighton. Yeah, no doubt in my mind, Ansu will be a good player for Brighton. The Champions League draw kicks off in 10 minutes, people. Let me know who you want to draw. Let me know your ideal draw and smash the like button if you wish that Man United could sign Frankie de Jong on loan on deadline day. Because I tell you what, someone said to me, Alice, what would be your ideal deadline day? And I said, look, call me crazy. I know this name. I know we can't say this name anymore at United. But I said, if we could do something for Frankie de Jong on deadline day, I said that is what I want to see. Frankie de Jong on deadline day as well. Do you know what's mad is that we're going to sign Reguilon before we sign the CM. Yeah, fair enough as well. Everyone's doing their Champions League draws as well. Romano's just confirmed that United are advancing and talks with Reguilon from Tottenham as reported, and the Cucurella deal has collapsed and United want a clause to terminate the deal in January. So it's going to be Reguilon over Cucurella. That has just been confirmed by Romano. Chelsea fans are crying. They're saying with Chalobah and Cucurella staying, we have 3 left-backs and 5 centre-backs. Disasi, Chalobah, Silva, Badiashile, Colwill, Chilwell, Maddison, Cucurella. Not ideal, all within 1 game week. And to be fair, that's Chelsea's fault for playing Cucurella, getting cut tied. I don't know what they were thinking as well. But the worrying thing about Reguilon and Man United getting this Reguilon deal done is this. Wrong screen. The reason the only negative really on Reguilon in terms of a loan deal is that we're replacing Luke Shaw with Luke Shaw's someone who's got more injured than Luke Shaw. Reguilon last season missed 29 games through injury. The season before, he still missed like a good 10 games for injury. Like Reguilon has a bit of an injury record here, so that is the worrying deal for that. I think Brentford are about to sign one. Brentford are about to sign a really good winger from PSV apparently. Cole Palmer has completed his medical tests at Chelsea as well. So that's interesting as well. Keep smashing the likes for Alice as well. Alice, besides looking so beautiful, I want young boys, Galatasaray and Sevilla. Oh, do you want young boys? It's a bit concerning. No, I'm joking. But yeah, young boys, Galatasaray and Sevilla. Yeah, they would probably be decent options as well. PSG, PSV, RC Lens. That would be a difficult draw. Do you know what? Sevilla, Lens, Milan. The thing is, part of me doesn't want Sevilla. Part of me is like, I do not want to see Man United play Sevilla ever again. Whenever we play Sevilla, it's horrible. But then look, when there's Bayern Munich, there's Barcelona, and there's PSG, and we can't draw Man City, and Benfica are a very good side, and Napoli are a very good side. I'm actually at the point where I'm like, you know what? I might want Sevilla. I'm at that point where I'm like, you know what? I think I'll take Sevilla. But I feel like that will be the 500th time that we've drawn Sevilla as well. But that is Reguilon's injury record on the screen. Alice, do you believe Amrabat will join by tomorrow? It is heard that United have not raised their funds, so it may be difficult to make a bid. Basically, the reason I believe that Amrabat deal will be done by tomorrow is because Fabrizio Romano has come out, and Fabrizio Romano basically confirmed that, Fiorentina are willing to do a loan with an obligation to buy. So all Man United need to do is spend about 3 million to bring him in this year and agree a fee which is an obligation to buy. So Man United have absolutely no excuse not to get this Amrabat deal done. I'm 99% sure this Amrabat deal will be done because there is literally no excuse for it not to be done. They are willing to do something on loan with an obligation to buy. So for me, I'd be absolutely shocked if it wasn't done. The fact that Fabrizio Romano and the Athletic and every tier 1 source, even Sky Sports, have said, yeah, Fiorentina will negotiate with us to do a loan deal. Fiorentina will be very flexible to help Amrabat get his dream move to United. The fact that Amrabat has rejected about 10 clubs for us, the fact that Fiorentina are willing to lower the price and do a loan deal to give Amrabat his wishes and suit United, it's basically for me, you know, it's on United if we don't get it done. And signing Reguilon, who's even cheaper than Cucurella, just gives United more reason to get this done. Like, Reguilon's going to be like so much cheaper than Cucurella. And Sky Sports even said this: a deal for Sergio Reguilon and the numbers involved is thought to give Man United the best chance of signing Amrabat as well. So it should all be fine as well. Sevilla lost Bono. We should be fine. Yeah. But I tell you what, Bono is a good keeper. But I swear, man, I remember playing Bono in is it the semi-final under Oli in the Europa League? And the guy turned into prime Yashin. And I thought, it's always against United when these goalkeepers turn into prime Yashin. We're going for 500 likes, guys, so keep smashing the like button as well. Loan with an obligation is the same as a permanent transfer, just kicks the fee down to 2 summers. Yeah, but it kicks the fee down to 2 summers, which means it won't affect FFP. And United are saying they can't do this because of FFP. Well, if they do it in the next summer, it won't affect FFP. Probably should have clarified that as well. And Alice, Chelsea is not in the UCL. Why are you using us in the thumbnail? Have I put Chelsea in the thumbnail? Have I put Chelsea in the thumbnail? Don't tell me I've put Chelsea in the thumbnail. Am I being trolled? Have I actually put? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Why have I got Chelsea in the thumbnail and not Man City? I don't know what I'm doing. Laurie Whitwell said that Facundo Pellistri is going to stay at United now. So breaking news come out. Breaking news has just come out now by Laurie Whitwell that Facundo Pellistri is going to stay at United. But you're absolutely right. I've absolutely had a mare. I've had an absolute mare, and I've been an idiot. I've deleted the thumbnail as well. I think, what is she doing? What is Alice doing, people? Putting Chelsea in the thumbnail there. I am an absolute wally. Let me quickly fix that. That will take 2 seconds to fix. I know Man City's a small club, but I should remember them. I know they're not a memorable club. I know Man City are a small club, not particularly memorable, but I should know they're in the Champions League. They're not that small, or maybe they are. Maybe they're that small. I forgot they were in the Champions League. There we go. All right, the thumbnail's going to be fixed, people. Don't you worry. Alice is fixing the thumbnail now. But I want to get this breaking news story up quickly. I want to get this breaking news story up that's just come out from Laurie Whitwell here. And I think this is good news, but it's also bad news because I think it would have benefited Pellistri so much if he'd obviously gone. But Laurie Whitwell's just broken this second that Facundo Pellistri is set to stay at Manchester United. What? Let me change my thumbnail. What are you doing, YouTube? I know Man City's a small club, but they are in the Champions League. Let me change my thumbnail. Facundo Pellistri is set to stay at Manchester United after talks with Ten Hag. Sheffield United were desperate to sign Pellistri. Sheffield United were going all in, all out to sign Facundo Pellistri. And do you know why he's staying at Man United? He's staying at Man United because Man United aren't going to go and sign an attacker. I tell you what, Facundo Pellistri staying, he's actually going to be of some use, 100%. But Facundo Pellistri is also staying because, let's be honest, Man United have just thought, you know what, we're not going to sign an attacker. That's probably what it is as well. Warrior UCL for Arsenal. Who else is waiting for the Amrabat deal? Personally, I don't care about Reguilon. We need a midfielder ASAP. I agree. Reguilon is billed to do his medicals. It's happening, people, as well. Facundo deserves minutes this season, especially in cup games. I agree. You know what? If Facundo Pellistri doesn't get minutes, I'll be really disappointed. I'll be really disappointed if Facundo Pellistri doesn't get the minutes he deserves. But he should get the minutes he deserves. And he is staying. And I think the fact that he's got loads of loan deals and he's staying now, I think that says to me that he's probably going to stay as well. Worried a bit about defence. Martinez doesn't look at his best and Varane is injured. Look, Martinez has looked a bit rusty these opening games, but I'm actually not too worried about Lisandro Martinez. I think he'll get back to his best and I think he'll be absolutely fine, in all honesty. I think with Martinez, just injured, not played in a while. Martinez was really poor the opening 2 games of last season. Obviously, he was playing next to Maguire. I'm sure that he'll be fine as well. Forest to link with Ibrahim Sangare, and that's one of the players I adore. He's like Yaya Toure profile in midfield. Yeah, Sangare was actually linked to United at one point as well. But I think the fact that Forest went for Amrabat, that got rejected. They're going in for Sangare now as well. People are saying yay to Pellistri. People are saying yay to Pellistri. Yeah, I think Pellistri will be a good move. I think it would have been nice to see Pellistri play week in, week out in the Premier League and get a loan. But I think with Antony's inconsistency, Ten Hag not really liking Sancho, I think it's just one of those as well. Gaz says YouTube doesn't know what Man City is. They are that small. I remember when I had I wasn't logged into a YouTube account. or anything. And I remember I was searching on YouTube once, MA, and it went like Man United, Man United, Man United, and then it went Mark Goldbridge, and then it went Man City. Like Goldbridge, who was a United YouTuber, if you actually don't have an account and you put MA in YouTube, so it's not even like on recent searches, Mark Goldbridge has more searches than Man City on YouTube at the time, which just tells you how small Man City are as well. And Pellistri staying spells bad news for Anthony because Ten Hag has no hiding places not to see the difference between Pellistri and Anthony that everyone else sees. Well, if Anthony's, Anthony, we spent a lot of money on Anthony, so of course we're going to play Anthony a lot and all of that. But, Pellistri staying is fine, but I think we will probably give him a January loan if he's not getting the minutes as well. Because Pellistri obviously was injured last year, couldn't go out on loan, didn't get the minutes. I think the fact that Pellistri got a lot of loan offers and United didn't let him go out on loan, I say that maybe Facundo Pellistri is going to get a fair few minutes. And the thing about Pellistri, and the thing I like about Pellistri, is I do think he's a safe winger. I think he's a safe winger in the sense of he's someone that when he's on the ball, you can kind of trust him. He's someone that can defend well. He's not selfish. He offers something different. I think other wingers are quite direct. They like to cut in, they like to shoot, they like to score. What I like about Facundo Pellistri is he's a crosser. He keeps the ball. Him and Sancho aren't Ten Hag's ideal profiles, but sometimes when Man United are giving the ball away more than any other team in the final third, we need someone that's going to help us control. Garnacho's direct, Anthony's direct, Rashford's direct. I like that you need direct players, but I always feel like you also need wingers that have the ability to retain the ball in the final third. And Pellistri can do that. He's very good at keeping the ball. Same with Sancho, and he's very good technically. And there's definitely a good player in Pellistri. So, you know what? While I thought it was better for Pellistri to go out on loan, I think the fact that I know we're probably not going to bring in another attacker makes me kind of happy that Facundo Pellistri is staying at Man United as well. Pellistri can cross to Højlund, says Paul. Yeah, as well. And forgot that Reguilon missed 29 games and 88 days last season through injury. Replacing our injured players with more injured players as well. Do smash the like buttons, people. I'm just going to put my screen on with the UCL draw. So give me 2 seconds because I'm just going to change location so I can actually watch the draw without having to turn my head. So give me 1 second quickly. Alice is just moving her setup around here so she can go and watch the draw. You can still hear me, so it's fine. Just cameras off for a second. I mean, actually, there's nothing to hide. I could have just kept the camera on, actually, in all honesty. But we're getting the draw up on the screen here, guys. The draw is set to start, so we're going to get this all up on the screen. Super, super exciting stuff. Everybody, please do smash that like button. Of course, subscribe down below if you're new. Share the video. Tell me your dream draw in the chat. And we're going to get everything up and ready for this Champions League draw as well. Someone said, let Anthony, Sancho and Maguire train with Keane for 1 week. Mate, that would be brutal as well. Instead of Mason and Onana, we could have gotten Bono and Amrabat for way less money. Well, Bono wanted to go to Saudi Arabia for money. So even though I think Bono's a good player, that says it all. I think if you're under the age of 30 and you go to Saudi Arabia, it's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing because you're just wasting your career. I get maybe going there for a year and going back to Europe and all of that, but it's like at the end of the day, you're making like 100k a week anyway at most Premier League clubs. So it's not like you're poor. In all honesty, I get anyone over the age of 30 going to Saudi Arabia because why the hell not? Like the money's crazy, but I just think anyone under the age of 30 is silly, just silly, aren't they? So that's why I don't want any player that would have gone to Saudi Arabia for the money at United. Oh, the bloody mouse. The bloody mouse, people. What's going on in here? What's going on here? Is Cucurella confirmed? No. Reguilon's almost confirmed. If you're just catching up now, it's Cucurella's basically gone. Here we go to the barber. Yeah, Cucurella basically ain't happening, and it looks like it's going to be Reguilon, people. Breaking news coming out. Essentially that United are going to sign Reguilon. The Champions League draw. So the Champions League draw is kicked off. We're going to play a fun game, people. And that fun game is how long until they actually get into the draw. The Champions League draw is kicked off, but how long until they actually get into the draw? How many minutes? Do you think they'll start at 20 past? Do you think they'll start at 6 o'clock? It's meant to start at 5 o'clock. How many minutes of waffle are we going to get for this Champions League draw? I reckon we've got about 40 minutes of waffle to sit through before they actually start putting the numbers. But obviously, these are the draws on the scores as well. And what gone where? Basically, Man United, basically Chelsea are effing about with Cucurella. They're saying we have to loan him for a year. He's now cup tied. We have to pay excruciating amount of fees, so we're going for Reguilon. But the one positive is, and I know a lot of people don't want Reguilon, but they said if we get Reguilon, we've got a lot more chances of getting Amrabat. And would you rather sign just Cucurella or Reguilon and Amrabat? Of course, you would rather have Reguilon and Amrabat as well. People saying 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 37 minutes. Cass saying an hour and a half. Feels like that as well. Palistri is now staying at United as well. Any breaking news on Amrabat? Basically, the focus is Reguilon, then Amrabat. I know. I mean, Amrabat should have been the focus. Amrabat should have been signed weeks ago. But basically, no, there's a feeling that the Amrabat deal will be done. And that all will advance and stuff. Good stuff with all of that as well. So not too worried. Keep smashing the likes. Keep subscribing. Keep sharing the video. And all of that. I'm going to get Excel up. I have to say, where is the Champions League draw taking place? What country is that? It looks nice and sunny, so it can't be England. Well, obviously it wouldn't be England. Where is that? I don't know. I feel like I should know that. I don't know where they do the draws. I want to. That looks a bit French, does it? Looks a bit like south of, is it France or Spain? Don't know. Should know that. Looks Francey Spanish. Someone said Ireland. That's definitely not Ireland. I tell you that. I've been to Ireland. No, I haven't been to Ireland, but I've been to Northern Ireland. But yeah, that definitely ain't Ireland as well. Can't wait for the draw. People say it take about an hour. Monaco. I was basically right with France. Look at me. GeoGuessr expert as well. I'm going to get something up on Excel, guys. It's going to be really interesting to look at. It's really not going to be interesting to look at, but when my computer stops lagging, what is going on? Oh, stupid computer. Stupid. Wow. What are you doing? Okay. Oh, let's not share the screen on that. I've just got my finance statements up on the screen for. Yeah, so that will be very boring to look at. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this up for the UCL draw. So pot 1, pot 2, all this pot is not good for us. Pot 3. What are you doing, you prick? Pot 3, pot 4. There we go. There we go. Group 1. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you because this is going to be interesting. It's not going to be interesting. But what we'll do is, actually, I won't share my screen with you. It's boring. I'll get that up in a second, but it is Monaco. Breaking news for Kisti's going to get a lot of game time as fixtures pile up. Yeah, I hope Palistri does get the game time. It looks like the fixtures are going to pile up here, there, and everywhere. So for Kunde Palistri getting the game time, you know, as long as he stays and gets the game time, I'm happy with that. All right, I have a thing. I need a wee, and I feel like I'm going to be sitting here for another hour because they're so slow with the UCL draw. So I don't know if I have a wee now or just, you know what, I hope that they get on with it quick. Maybe I'm being rude, but what is the point of just getting someone to play the piano and saxophone? We'll just get on with the draw. Like, I've just got some woman playing the saxophone on my screen, and I just think, well, why do we need someone to play the piano and play the saxophone? I'm not even listening. She might be quite good, actually. I should probably put headphones in. But I just think, why do I want to watch some lady play the saxophone? I'm here to see if Man United are going to get Sevilla for the 99th time in 5 years in the Champions League draw. I'm here to hope that Arsenal get the hardest draw ever and get knocked out in the group stage, so I can laugh at them not being in the Champions League for 5 years, to then celebrating being in the Champions League to get knocked out in the group stage as well. You know, that's what I want to see, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like I'm going to see that as well. But it's the UEFA Champions League draw times, people. It's all getting exciting. It's all kicking off, and I am in the mood for the Champions League. PSG, PSV, RC Lens. We couldn't get RC Lens and PSG because they're both French, so they couldn't actually be in the same group. You could only get one team from each nationality per group. I should probably say that as well. So we can't draw Arsenal or Man City. But if we had PSG, we couldn't get another French team in our group. If we had Bayern Munich, we couldn't get another German team in our group. Question for anyone who knows Champions League better than I do. But the way that the group stage works, yeah, is the Premier League the only league that gets 4 clubs? Because I'm pretty sure there's only 2 French clubs in there, 2 or 3 German clubs in there, and well, actually, there's 4 Spanish clubs. Is La Liga and the Premier League the only two leagues that get 4 slots as well? Real and City would be interesting. It would be as well. Sevilla in the same group as us. Sevilla, PSG, Union Berlin. Yes. Alice, with the arrival of Amrabat, Mount can play more freely. United can show his real potential. Amrabat will be a great competition to Casemiro. Amrabat has a decent press resisting ability. I agree. All right, guys, because this is going to go on for ages, I'll be back in 1 minute. I'm going to have a quick wee, but I'll literally be 1 minute, so don't go anywhere. Okay, she's back. She's back. She's back. Can you hear me? Am I on mute or am I not on mute? I'm mute. Am I on mute? Okay. All right, you can hear me. Please just say you can hear me. Everything's fine. I am back. Alice is back, people. Just checking everything is all good. But I've got a little bit of an update on Amrabat, okay? So everyone's asking me, Amrabat this, Amrabat that, Amrabat this, Amrabat that. Basically, Amrabat to United should be all fine as well. It's basically Reguilon and Amrabat. The fact that Ornstein and Romano have all said Man United's plan is essentially Reguilon, then Amrabat. I think it is the plan. And they're saying because if we get Reguilon and his financial package is less than Cucurella's, we can afford Amrabat with or without FFP. So I do think that Amrabat will go over the line for all of you people asking. Okay, you can hear me, you can hear me, you can hear me. So your favourite draw is Sevilla. Well, it's not, and it is. I don't want Sevilla again, but actually it's probably one of the easiest ones as well. Yeah, English, Spanish, German, Italian get 4. Top 4 leagues get 4. It would be the top 3 leagues that got 4 because Italian and German sometimes only has 3. Oh, fairs, that makes sense. That makes sense. And Man City automatically qualifies, hence the extra slot in England. Basically, it feels like that, doesn't it, as well? They probably pay them. But yeah, no, they just. Who do you think is going to win the league this season? I think it's going to be Man City to win the league. Should we see if we've got any news coming out? Everyone. Pelistri staying, and we still have Ahmad to come back from injury. Our right wing options are looking strong. Breaking news: Manchester United have drawn Sevilla and Real Sociedad in the Champions League. All games to be played in Spain. It feels like that. Oh, that is worrying. That's going to be our back line. This could be our back four going into Arsenal, guys. This could be our back four against Arsenal. That's super, super exciting as well. We need more players for squad depth. If no one comes in today from McTominay, I will gladly keep him for depth. Yeah, I mean, we need Amrabat. If we don't get Amrabat, it's a farce. If we don't get Amrabat, it's an absolute farce because the player has denied every club to get his Man United move. Fiorentina are willing to do a loan deal. And the fact that they're willing to do a loan deal means it doesn't affect FFP because we won't actually have to pay the funds until next year when we're in the new FFP year. So essentially, we can do a deal right now for Amrabat. And the player is doing everything he can. Ten Hag is doing everything he can. He's a target. We clearly want him. We're working on it. If Amrabat is not a Man United player in the next 30 hours, these Glazers, they've got blood on their hands. In fact, they have blood all over them. Because I tell you what, I don't want to get into it. It would be an absolute disgrace as well. Gaz says, I'm sick of Sevilla. Sevilla's PSG and PSG, Lazio, all we need in our group as well. Let's avoid Barcelona and PSV. PSV will give us a difficult game in pot 3, I tell you that. And Milan would as well. Gutted Luke Shaw is out. And Luke Shaw won't be back till like Christmas time. He could be back in November. And Man United think he could be back end of October, November time. But the thing with Luke Shaw is because it's to do with his whole leg break and that scenario. Man United don't even want to take the risk. Man United don't even want to take the risk with Luke Shaw because of like his leg break and everything that went on with that. So it's almost like they might, like if he could be back in October, but they might actually not even bring him back until like December just because they don't want to upset that leg break and make it worse. Because if he's injured and we continually bring him back early from injury, it'll be really, really poor from us as well, Martial got injured and we'd rush him back. Rashford got injured and we rush him back and they get more injured. Sometimes when a player gets injured, keep them out for an extra 2 weeks. So when they come back, they're just way less likely to get injured and all of that stuff as well. Sevilla without Bono is much weaker. We should get Todibo. Maguire's not going anywhere, so we can't. And why do people saying Maguire? It's Maguire. I actually don't know. The amount of people that go Maguire, I'm like, it's Maguire. But to be honest, the amount of names I mispronounce, I can't even talk about people's spelling as well here. No, the game, it should kick off in about 2 minutes, someone said. Really? We're at 12 past and they're waffling. What are they waffling about, people? What are they waffling about? It's just Man City's director of football. Man City's director of lying FFP breaches 151, but I'm joking. Man City's director of football is absolutely insane. But Man City, let's not act like they haven't got about 150 breaches of all of that as well. Is it group 1 to is it group 1 to 8 or is it group A? It's group A, isn't it? Group B. Sorry, Alice has done group 1s to 8, and I've just realised it's been too long since we're in the Champions League. It's been a year. Instead of groups A, B, and C, I've done groups 1 to 8. Yeah, knob. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the groups up for the Champions League draws here. And yeah, I'm taking my headphones out. I was just listening to what they're waffling about. And I just have to say, you know, I just don't get why they can't just do the draw now. They have to do this waffling thing. I put my headphones in there for 2 minutes. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. I put my and I just think, I don't want to be rude, but no one cares. Get on with the draw. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I'm trying to think of the alphabet here. Group H. Okay. I've got it all up for you people. I've got everything up that we need. But 413 likes. Keep smashing the like button. Alice Lindelof is a good player. He plays really good when he plays with Martinez or Varane, but he seems to be bad when he played with Maguire. Have you noticed that? I do. Do you know what's mad is I feel, and I don't like to say this because I feel like Maguire gets so much hate and it's like an agenda against Maguire, but actually it is kind of factual. When you actually look at everything and you put everything like together, you actually go, well, actually Maguire, you know, so we asked our other centre backs seem to be so much better when they're not playing with Maguire. Like Lindelof seems to be so much better when he's not playing with Maguire. You know, Varane was so much better next. Like Varane and Lindelof are better next to Martinez. Martinez is better next to Lindelof and Varane. You're absolutely spot on. It's like we just seem to be a lot clearer and better. But that is just United for you, isn't it? That's just classic Man United for you. But we'll still play Maguire everyone as well. They're waiting for the balls to heat up. You know what? Let's not act like Gaz is wrong here. Let's not act like Gaz is wrong here. Money on. They're actually just waiting for the balls to heat up because I'm convinced it's fixed. Do you remember when we had Ronaldo and PSG had Messi and it was literally fixed? Do you know what I mean? For me, it is so fixed. It is so fixed, this whole draw, because as soon as we had Messi and as soon as we had Ronaldo and PSG had Messi, we all of a sudden got PSG. And then we got Barcelona in the Europa League. There's no doubt in my mind that the draws are 100% fixed. And no one can convince me otherwise. No one can convince me otherwise. But they are 100% fixed. So they are probably heating up the balls. I reckon Man City will get the easiest group. I reckon United will get someone difficult for views. They'd love to give us a Spanish side. They love to give us a Spanish side. I reckon we'll probably get... is it Sociedad? Was it Sociedad that's in it? They love to give us a Spanish side, don't they? People say Maldini, it's Maldini what? Who are options? I'll get the pot up actually again in a second as well. Delo is better than Reguilon, but the only difference is the latter is a natural left. Yeah, to be honest, I actually agree with you. I actually do think Delo is better than Reguilon. 100% agree with you there. I'm not the biggest fan of the Reguilon signing, but I'm just not going to be too negative. I'm going to try not to be a complete prick about it, essentially, because I think at the end of the day, yeah, I think Delo is better, but his depth, and at the end of the day, they've said, well, actually, us signing Reguilon won't affect the Amrabat deal because Reguilon's so cheap. Cucurella is going to be so taking the mick out of the money now that actually, you know, the Reguilon deal could be a lot smarter to do, in all honesty. So I think that's what it's going to be, really. Keep smashing the like button, guys. Of course, subscribe down below if you're new. Share the video and all of that good stuff. If you do want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, updates, and more, make sure you tune in. I go live every single evening on the channel. So if you want to stay up to date with all the latest news, make sure you are subscribed. I do Man United content on this channel. I do non-Man United content on my other channel as well. So all good stuff coming up as well. And also, Alice is so smart that she actually put Chelsea in her thumbnail for the Champions League draw instead of Manchester City. So you get top tier content on this channel. Forgetting that Man City were in the Champions League. Well, I didn't forget, I knew they were, but you know, they're just a small club, Man City. They're not very memorable, but they're touching all the balls. That sounds wrong, but they're not touching the balls literally. But they look like they're about to touch the balls. So it looks like there could be some movement. So what I'm going to do, it looks like there's going to be some movement, people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share Excel with you. I don't know how big that is. Can I zoom in on Excel? Is there like a way you can zoom? Oh, that. Can I not? Okay, cool. Can I zoom in? Okay, can you? Is that clear? Is that clear for you people? It says Group A, Group B, Group C, Group D, Group E, Group F, Group H. What I'm going to do is when they put the draws out. So let's say, I don't know, let's say Man United are B in this group. When they draw the names out, I will put them all in. So the first name drawn out will be like Real Madrid, or well, actually they're not put one. It'll probably be like Man City here. Do you know what I mean? Like I will put the names in as they draw them out, because in that way you can stay up to date on that, if that makes sense. So just let me know if that's clear, or do you want me to zoom in a little bit more as well? Man United so badly run. Yeah, we're so awfully run as well. Someone says hit Control Plus. I don't know what that does. What does Control Plus? Oh, to zoom in. Okay, this is when you maybe do something really bad. Doesn't want to work, but I will zoom in a bit more. I always worry if someone asks me to click a button that's going to get some kind of pop-up up, and then I'm going to get in loads of trouble. But that looks a lot clearer now, doesn't it? So then we can just put everything in as it's drawn out, and then we're just basically up to date with every single group stage as well. So yeah, thanks everyone for that in the chat. Big up everybody tuning in. They are I feel like they're going to start the draw soon, but you just don't know. What are they waffling about? Should we see what they're waffling about? Shall we have a look? What are they waffling about? I don't know. No, is it? Don't tell me it's an advert. Don't tell me it's an advert. Oh no, they're talking. Let me see what they're saying. Let me see what they're saying. They're getting all the teams up. So pot one is Man City, Sevilla, Barcelona, Napoli, Bayern Munich, PSG, Benfica, and Feyenoord all in pot one. They're doing this thing where they tell us how the draw is going to work, which they do every single time. And I'm sorry, like, if you don't know how the draw works, just Google it. Maybe I'm being rude. Maybe I'm being horrible. But I just think if you don't know how the draw works, can you just Google it? It's just a simple little Google there, isn't it? But they're just explaining how the draw works. Man United are doing get our UCL. Man United, I'm sorry, guys, come on. This is the most Man United thing ever, what we've just done. No other club in the league has just done this. This is the most Man United thing ever. The Champions League draw is on. So guess what Man United have just done? Man United have put out a tweet saying, we've got exclusive fresh Champions League shirts. Here, go buy one. The Champions League draws on right now. So United use this as an opportunity to tweet and Instagram that they've got basically their shirt with a Champions League logo on, and you can buy it for extra money. Is that not just the summary of this club? Would Man City do that? Would Arsenal do that? Would Newcastle do that? No. Only Manchester United do these kind of things. It's oh my God, the Champions League draws on. Let's use this as a way to sell more shirts. Oh, brilliant. It's just the most Manchester United thing ever. It is honestly the most Manchester United absolute rubbish ever. It's just what we do. Oh, it's an opportunity to sell shirts. Oh, let's put out that we're in the Champions League and put a link to our shirts. We are just an embarrassing club at times. And maybe that's me being really horrible and negative, but sometimes it's embarrassing. Sometimes I just look at this whole situation. I think, we're not a serious club when we're more interested in promoting that you can pay extra money to have a shirt with the Champions League badge on it this season than signing Amrabat. That's the club we are. And do you know what also is funny? If you look at, I don't know if it's the case now, but I remember like 2 months ago, if you looked at all the Premier League clubs' bios on social media, all of their bios were good. And then Man United's bio was just like, link to our shop here, link to our shop here. And I'm just like, it's just crazy sometimes. We just need Qatar. We just need Qatar. Qatar, please come save us, because I think we could get battered in this Champions League. Qatar, please come save us, because I think we could get battered in this Champions League. And this is not going to sing as well. And just Glazers. It's just the most Glazer thing. Glazers out as well. Ain't this the last year that's going to... Yeah, it's going to be a bigger format next year. This is the last year of the OG Champions League. And all I ask is that Man City don't win it again. All I ask is Man City don't win it and Arsenal don't win it. As long as Man City and Arsenal don't win it, I'm all for the Champions League. But yes, the format of the Champions League is massively changing. So this is technically the last year of the OG Champions League, people. The last year of OG Champions League. Hopefully, Man United win it. Just anyone, who do you think is going to win the Champions League? I'm worried it's going to be Man City. I can't lie to you. I am really worried it's going to be Man City. I am really, really worried it's going to be Man City. But I hope it's not Man City. I really hope it's not Man City. But yes, it does worry me. I think Bayern with Kane. I think Bayern with Kane could do something. I do think Bayern with Kane could do something. But I think it's probably going to be City. I think it was between City. Real Madrid's just always up there. It's between City, Real Madrid, and Bayern for me. I'd like it to be Bayern if it's not going to be Man United, or someone like Newcastle, because it'd be nice to see them win something. But yeah, just don't be City and don't be Arsenal is all I ask. But yeah, I reckon it'll be maybe Bayern. I think Kane's going to come in and be big. But let me know who you think's going to win the Champions League down below as well. Some people say it's Seville. It's not the Europa League. Surely they don't. They've heated up the balls. Are they doing it? They're doing it. They're doing it. They're doing it. They're actually doing it. What's this? They've started. Bayern Munich. All right, Bayern Munich are the first team out. Bayern goes into Group A. So, guys, I hope you can see this on the screen because I'm doing this along with you guys. Bayern Munich is the first team drawn. They're going into Group A. So we're going to fill this all in with you guys as well. Please do let us hit 500 likes as well. Bayern are the first team drawn going into Group A here. So we're just going to follow this along. Obviously, they're going to do all of pot 1 first. Who's in Group B? Sevilla. Sevilla is going into Group B. There we go. Sevilla always win the bloody Europa League. They're so boring. They'll get knocked out the Champions League group stage to go into Europa League and win it. Watch it. I was about to say, is that Merta? But I don't think so. Group C is Napoli. Napoli are in Group C. Napoli drawn for Group C. I have to say, Napoli were unreal to watch last season. Absolutely unreal to watch last season. Group D. Group D. Benfica. Benfica's going into Group D. At least they're getting on with the draw as well. Sevilla Group C, Benfica Group D, Napoli Group C, everybody as well. I reckon we'll probably get someone. I hope Arsenal get Bayern. That'll be jokes. All right, Group E. Who's going to be Group E? Feyenoord. Feyenoord is going into Group E. Let me put that one in. So Feyenoord's into Group E, which means it's just Man City, Barcelona, and of course PSG left. So Group F is going to be PSG, and the other two groups will be Man City and Barca. Feyenoord's going into Group E. What happened to the Napoli manager? Didn't he leave or something? I don't know what went on with Napoli, but yes, something happened with the manager there. Something happened with the manager. But they're feeling Napoli's a good side, but they might not be as good as they were last year. So Man City and then Barca will be the last group. So Man City will be Group G and Barca will be Group H. And then Barcelona. I'll just put Barca in. There's no point putting Barcelona in. So it is Bayern Group A, Sevilla Group B, Napoli Group C, Benfica Group D, Feyenoord Group E, PSG Group F, Man City Group G, and Barcelona Group H. So Man United now in the next pot. Let's see who we get. They're now going into pot 2. So let's see who we draw. Come on. If they do a little 5-minute chat, can they just open pot 2? So Real Madrid's in pot 2. I think pot 2's got better teams than pot 1 in. No, they don't. Man United's in pot 2. They should have put Arsenal in pot 3. They've not been in the Champions League in 3 years. Inter Milan's in pot. Inter Milan, you know, were brilliant in the last Champions League, weren't they? Dortmund's in pot 2. Do you know what? There's a lot of teams in pot 2 I wouldn't want to draw, and that's good because you won't draw them. Atletico Madrid's in pot 2 as well. Leipzig. I tell you what, do you remember we got knocked out by Leipzig? That was a horrible day. That was a horrible day. Porto are a good side. Taremi was good for them. Can't believe AC Milan got Taremi for about 13 mil. Arsenal. I really want them to get Bayern Munich just so that I see them get battered. Yeah, pot 2. They're starting the draw for pot 2, everybody. Alice, the signing of Amrabat, we can even make a good run in the Champions League. Our team will be like pressing monster. Casemiro, Amrabat, Bruno midfield would be frightening. Yeah, I really hope we get Amrabat, and I hope we get it done quick, mate, as well. All right. They're going to do pot 2. It's Man United time, people. It's Man United time. They're warming up the balls. They're going to make the Man United ball really hot so they can give us someone Spanish. I reckon we'll get Barcelona. I reckon we'll go in Group H. So who's this? The first one's out. Who's the first one? Give Arsenal Bayern. Give Arsenal Bayern. Give Arsenal Bayern. Give Arsenal Bayern. So Dortmund go into Group B. So they'll go into Group B. Oh, they can't go in Group B, Borussia Dortmund. Oh yeah, they can't go in with Bayern. We've got to wait to see what Borussia Dortmund go in. Dortmund can only go in 4 because they have to be on a different day to Bayern. That's it. So Borussia Dortmund can only go from E to H. If they go in with Feyenoord, that's a boring group. PSG have got Dortmund. And have PSG. So we weren't getting PSG, which, good. I have a feeling we'll get someone Spanish. I have a feeling they always give us someone Spanish, don't they? They always give us someone Spanish. So Borussia Dortmund's in here. Who's that? Don't be United or we'll get Bayern. Oh! They got Bayern! They got Bayern! Oh! What? Why not? Why are they not getting Bayern? Why are they not getting Bayern? Why can't I? Oh, because they have to play on a different day to Man City. What a joke. What? That's a joke. They have to play on. They have to play the same night as City. Oh, please give them H. Please give them H. Please give them H. Don't give them Feyenoord. Don't give them Feyenoord. B. Oh, Sevilla. Arsenal got Sevilla. Great. Of course, Arsenal get an easy one. Atletico. All the easy ones are going to go as well. Arsenal got an easy one in Sevilla. We're going to get Bayern or Barca, aren't we? Atletico are going with Feyenoord. Who are we going to get? Mate. Well, I wanted if we get Bayern or Barca, I'll cry. I don't want Napoli or Benfica either. Whatever happens, we're getting someone hard. I don't want Napoli or Benfica, but I don't want Bayern. I'd take Barca. I don't want Bayern. I don't want Bayern. It's Man United. Oh, it's us. Oh no. Oh no. We're coming out. Now all the easy teams are gone. They're like, okay, we'll bring out Man United. Of course, Arsenal get the nicest one. I don't want Bayern. Just don't want Bayern. That's all I'm going to say. All I want is Arsenal to get Bayern, which means we're going to get Bayern, aren't we? We're getting Bayern. Bayern Munich's Group A. Bayern Munich's incredibly difficult. Let's be honest. Watch us get Bayern bloody Munich. Watch us get Bayern Munich. Watch it be Group A. The ball's warm. It's going to be Group A, isn't it? They've heated up the ball. They know what it is. It's going to be Group A, isn't it? Oh, I'm so shocked. I'm so shocked. Oh, I did not expect that. It's so fixed. It's so fixed. Oh, it's so fixed. It's so fixed. Of course we get Bayern Munich. Of course we get Bayern Munich. And City get Leipzig. City get the easiest. We get the hardest. Of course. Of course. What a joke. Why Arsenal and City get Sevilla and Leipzig and we get Bayern Munich? I told you, the ball is fixed. They heat up the balls. I'm convinced of it. I'm convinced that it's fixed. Who's this? G. What joke. Of course we get Bayern. It's rigged. It's rigged. You just know it's rigged. Let me see the Twitter reaction to this. Let me see the Twitter reaction to this. Inter Milan. Arsenal and Man United are playing on the same night for some reason. Inter Milan. So Porto will be with Barca and Inter will be with Benfica. What a joke. Alice is annoyed about that. Of course we get Bayern. What's everyone saying? Of course we get Bayern. Benfica, Inter. And Real Madrid, obviously, Real Madrid, Napoli is going to be difficult. We've got the hardest one, haven't we? We know we're getting a group joke. So Man City get the easiest. Arsenal get the easiest. And Man United get the hardest. It's all just do one. Who's taking the balls out? A snail. It is like a snail. On a plus, it's 2 good streams. Arsenal getting the easiest. We actually get shafted. You just know it. We're going to see Kane and Kim Min-ji at Old Trafford. Kane's going to score about 5, isn't he? Yeah, Kane's going to score about 5 people. I just knew it. I just knew it. I wanted Arsenal to get Bayern. I just wanted Arsenal to get Bayern. If they give us PSV, I'll cry. If they give us PSV, oh, we are. I mean, look, we should beat the teams in Pot C and Pot D. So we should be fine as well. But it's not going well. They're just doing their really slow. I don't know why Nick Pope isn't in the England squad. I couldn't tell you that. Okay, they're back on with it. They're back on with it. Ten Hag worked at Bayern. Maybe you'll know them. Sevilla Arsenal's a glorified Europa League game. It is. Right, they're getting back on with it. They're getting back on with it. Let's go, people. They're getting back on with the draw. PSV is who we don't want. We don't want PSV at all. We're Group A. Imagine if we get Lazio and Celtic. Okay, Shakhtar. I'll take Shakhtar Donetsk. Okay, I'll take Shakhtar Donetsk. I'll take Shakhtar Donetsk. That's what Mudryk was good for them, and he's not good in the Prem. So give me Shakhtar. Give me some Group A. Just don't give us PSV, because we will struggle against PSV. They are a good side. Okay. Could the guy open the ball any bloody slower? Are you a snail? H. Ugh. Group H. Have I spelled Shakhtar wrong? Shakhtar. Yeah. Okay, next team. Who's next, guys? Joe's opening the ball. I want to be asked for the Champions League draw so I can see if it's fixed. Red Star Belgrade. FC, but we'll call them Red Star Belgrade. So they can get any of the clubs. Okay, I'll take Red Star Belgrade. Okay, yeah, give us Red Star Belgrade. I'll take them. I just don't want PSV. And I said I didn't want Bayern, so maybe I'm a big fat jinx. Come on. Come on. Group A would be nice. Group A. You want to do some Group A? G. Wow. Of course, Man City get the easiest group. Red Star. I bet they planned this before. Oh, of course, Man City have got the 3-run. So the Man City will win every game. Of course they will. Of course they will. PSV. This is the one I don't want. This is the one. We don't want this to be Group A. Give them Arsenal. I won't be happy if we get PSV. It's fixed if we get PSV. If we get Milan or PSV, it's fixed. Give PSV. Put PSV in Group B, will you? Oh, good. All right. Arsenal have got PSV. Okay, we just don't want Milan. We just got to avoid Milan now. We just got to avoid Milan. Who did City pay off for this group? I don't know who City paid for this group. I don't know who City paid for this group. Just don't give us Milan. Don't give us Milan. That's all I ask. All right, just don't give us Milan or it's fixed. Okay, it's Milan's coming out. Well, actually, I don't think Milan can be in our group because they have to be on a different day to Napoli. So they're going to be E or F. And they're in with PSG. That's good. Okay. We should get a nice team now. We should get a nice team. We should get a nice team now. So Milan is with PSG. So there's only 4 teams left. I can't even remember who's in it. Maybe give us someone like Celtic would be nice. We might get Lazio. Is Lazio a difficult one? Lazio would be a difficult one. Salzburg. I'd take RB Salzburg. I'd take RB Salzburg. Copenhagen, RB Salzburg, Young Boys. Give us one of those, please. Don't give us a Spanish side as well. Don't give us a Spanish side. Group F is looking difficult. Yeah, Group F is going to be a hard one. Who's Salzburg getting? D. They're getting the D. Salzburg, Benfica, Inter. That's a difficult group in a weird way, but not. So who's left? Who's left? I don't remember who's left, guys. Lazio. I don't want Lazio either. But they can only go in Atletico, so that's fine. Right, so who are we going to get? We're going to get one of these next two. I can't remember who's next. I think it's like Copenhagen. I think it's Copenhagen that we'll get. Yeah. All right. Is Copenhagen good? Is Copenhagen good or not? Are they good? Are they? I'll take that. I feel like they're not. They're worse than Lazio. They're worse than Lazio and the other squads. I think I'll take Copenhagen. People say they suck. Hey, all right, I'll take Copenhagen. I feel like Copenhagen are probably I feel like Copenhagen are probably worse than PSV, Lazio, and Milan. We should beat them. We should beat them, but you never know. Who was the last one then? Is it Celtic? Braga. You know what? Yeah, I'll take Copenhagen. I'll take Copenhagen. So SC Braga is just going in the last one here with Real Madrid. Good luck, Braga. Guys, what are you thinking of the group so far? What are you thinking of the group so far? Anyone looking tasty? What was I going to do? They're just doing their waffle now. They're just doing the whole waffle thing now. Should Jaron Bowen have been picked, maybe, for England? I'd quite like Royal Antwerp from pot 4. Royal Antwerp would be nice. I don't want Sociedad because I don't want a Spanish side. Just do not give us Sociedad. That's all I'm saying. I don't care about anyone else in pot 4. Please don't give us Sociedad. That's all I ask for. No Real Sociedad. I don't want a trip to Spain. No Real Sociedad. Rasmus Højlund will face his old club, Copenhagen. Trip to Denmark. Always wanted to go to Denmark. Maybe I'll go. I'll take Copenhagen. Just don't give me don't give me Real Sociedad. Don't give me Real Sociedad. That's all I ask for. Man United are close to completing a deal for Reguilon. He's been granted to travel to Man United for his medical. Slow Sports News coming out with an update there. Group A is the easiest group. Have you seen Man City's group? We can't get Newcastle because they're British. No, actually, I don't think we can get, guys, positive. I don't think we can get Sociedad because Sevilla and Real Madrid are playing on the same night as us, which means Sociedad have to play on the same night as Barcelona. So we won't get Sociedad. We won't get Real Sociedad. I tell you what, Newcastle, imagine if Newcastle put in Group F. If Newcastle get Group F, that is the group of death. If you're Newcastle, you don't want Group F and you don't want Group C as well. If Newcastle will probably do well in Group D. All right, they're getting on with this. So we can't get Real Sociedad, so that's fine. Wait, they can go in Group A? Surely Real Sociedad can't go in Group A because they'd be playing on the same night as 2 other Spanish clubs. Surely not. Surely we can't get Sociedad. Surely. But why would Real Sociedad go in Group A? They're Group D. Oh, that's good. Real Sociedad. But why can they only go in our group or Group D? I don't get that. Okay, next group. I'm glad we didn't get Sociedad. Oh, who's Newcastle going to get? If they get Group F, that's tough. I think Group F is the hardest, followed by Group C, followed by Group H. They can't get A or B. They can't be A, B, or G, so they have to go in H, C, or F. So they're going to get one of the hardest groups. Yeah, Newcastle are going to get a hard group. PSG, Borussia Dortmund, and AC Milan. That will be difficult. That will be difficult. Oh my. Newcastle. Oh, what a group for Newcastle. Oh, mate, Newcastle. Ouch. Ouch. Oh, I think we might get Galatasaray here. Galatasaray will be difficult. Fred, you know Fred's just going to put in a masterclass. Well, did Fred go to Galatasaray or Fenerbahce? So we've got Galatasaray, of course. They're Turkish champions. Yeah, mate, Newcastle was screwed. It was Fenerbahce Fred went to. Galatasaray just put in the rubbish bid. Of course, you have to get the best club in Turkey. So we've got Galatasaray, Copenhagen, and United. I don't think that's too bad. We should beat Galatasaray as well. We missed 2 Spanish teams. Group F, my. Newcastle, damn. Union Berlin are going in with SC Braga. And that lot. Union Berlin are going in Group C. So we've got Arsenal. We're going to get the easiest one, aren't they? You just know it. So Group C, Union Berlin. Watch Arsenal get Young Boys or that really rubbish team that's name I forgot. So Union Berlin have got a very tough job there. Very tough job. So Arsenal have got a lucky group. Group F is insane. Yeah, Group F people. Newcastle fans are going to be like, nah. I reckon Newcastle will get out. Man City have got Young Boys. Young Boys, the Man City. What nonsense. Young Boys. Prince Andrew supports Young Boys. Arsenal are going to get... I think Arsenal and City have easily got the easiest draws. I mean, Lens did come second. Lens did come second, so... I mean, Lens did have a good season. I think it'd be Lens with Arsenal, I'm thinking. Yeah. You know what? PSG will top the group. Arsenal got RC Lens. Okay. Yeah, Arsenal and City, man. They've got away with one, haven't they? Group F is the group of death. Newcastle play with Tonali on it. Oh, yeah, Tonali goes back to Milan. Tonali goes back to Milan. I wanted someone like Antwerp, yeah. City's money going into getting an easy UCL group. Newcastle have been well and truly done over. Celtic are in with Lazio there. Celtic, and then that will mean Barcelona get Royal Antwerp. I wanted Royal Antwerp, but we wouldn't have got them, would we? So that looks like it's done. That's the UCL draw, people, I believe. That is it done. And I have to say, at least we're not in Group F. We know where Man City's transfer budget went. Leipzig, Young Boys, and Red Star Belgrade. We know where Man City's transfer budget went. Arsenal, they've got PSV, Lens and Sevilla. Arsenal don't have an easy game, but they don't have a hard game. PSV, Lens and Sevilla. We've got Bayern Munich, but then we've got Copenhagen and Galatasaray. So Man United and Bayern Munich should go through. Arsenal and Sevilla should go through. Real Madrid and Napoli should go through. Benfica and Inter should go through. I think Atletico and Lazio should go through. I reckon Newcastle could go through. I mean, look, that's some groups, eh? That is some groups, but that is the Champions League draw. Let me know your thoughts on that down below. Schofield at the Etihad as well. I think Newcastle could. You know what? I back Newcastle. I think Newcastle are a better team than Milan and Borussia Dortmund. I think PSG will top the group, and I think Newcastle will come second as well. PSV Arsenal will be a difficult game. Didn't PSV beat Arsenal in Europa League, or was that just me? I'm pretty sure PSV did beat Arsenal in Europa League, but I can't remember. But I tell you what, that is some draw, hey. That is some draw, and the Champions League draw is done. And I have to say, it has been some good live stream. I mean, I'm going to be back tonight with a bonus video. I'm going to be back tonight with some other stuff, but it's just been a good live stream, people. So thanks everyone that tuned in. Please do smash that like button. Of course, subscribe down below if you're new. Share the video and that good stuff. If you want to stay up to date with Manchester United, just transfer news, updates, and more, make sure you're subscribed to the channel as well. Big up everybody that has tuned in. Oh, why am I so laggy here? Why am I so laggy? But I believe that is the draw. They're just waffling. I'm not sure what they're waffling about. Does anyone know what they're waffling about? I think it's done. I think it's over as well. I think we're getting Reguilon as well. And the draw is on the screen for you people. So, yeah, I'm probably going to wrap up the live stream now. So, please do smash that like button. Subscribe down below if you're new. Share the video. I will be back tonight with a video. I mean, I could do a 6:30 live stream, but I just don't think any massive news is going to come out in the next half an hour that we've not spoken about. If there is breaking news, of course, I'll be back. If there is any exciting news, of course, I'll be back. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Please do smash that like button. Please do subscribe down below if you're new. And yeah, Bayern Munich, bring it on. Bye.